Hello friends, myself R.D. Mahajan presenting my video on third unit linear differential equation with constant coefficients. Its general form is dny upon dx raised to n, nth derivative of y with respect to x, p1 n minus first derivative of y with respect to x, plus p2 n minus second derivative of y with respect to x, and so on. The last term is pn into y is equals to phi of x, where p1, p2, p3 and so on pn are constants and phi of x is function of x. This is called as a linear differential equation. Here the highest order derivatives of nth order, therefore the order of this differential equation is nth order. A degree, the index or the power of that highest order derivative 1, therefore this is nth order first degree linear differential equation. Why it is linear? Therefore, if you try to apply that definition of linear differential equation, here the dependent variable is y, its degree is 1, and the degree of every differential coefficient of y with respect to x is also 1. Here the degree of this term is 1, degree of this term is 1, degree of this term is 1, and last but one term is also with degree 1, and therefore it is nth order first degree linear differential equation. It is linear differential equation in y of nth order with constant coefficient. As all the coefficients are constant one, it is called as nth order linear differential equation with constant coefficient. Then it's very lengthy to remember. Therefore, if we use capital D for the operator d by dx, I can rewrite that equation in symbolic form as d and y, means nth derivative of y with respect to x, p1 n minus first derivative of y with respect to x, plus p2 n minus second derivative of y with respect to x, and so on. The last term is pn y is equals to some function of x. Therefore, all the derivatives or all that operator is operated on y, and therefore we can take y common from this, so that we get here d raised to n plus p1 d raised to n minus 1 plus p2 d raised to n minus 2, so on. The last term is pn into y operated on y is equal to phi of x. Therefore, the term in the bracket we call as some polynomial in terms of d. Therefore, f of d operated on y equal to some function of x, where f of d is polynomial in terms of d, and that polynomial is here d raised to n plus p1 d raised to n minus 1 plus p2 d raised to n minus 2, and so on. The last term is pn. Therefore, we remember this as a general form. Then we require to obtain the solution of this linear differential equation. Therefore, solution is given by we are calling it as complete solution. CS is equal to CF complementary function plus PI. It is a sum of the two terms, CF complementary function and PI stands for particular integral. Today's video I will discuss how we can obtain the complementary function CF. To find that first part of the solution, which we are calling as complementary function, to find CF, we have to solve that f of d by equating it to 0. There are 4 different cases of obtaining the complementary function. Case 1 or type 1, when roots are real and different of that equation f of d equals to 0. Say suppose m1 is the first root, m2 as second, m3 as third, and so on as mn as the nth root. Then that complementary function is given by c1 e raised to m1x, c2 e raised to m2x, c3 e raised to m3x, and plus so on. The last is cn e raised to mnx. By using this, we can determine that complementary function. Solve differential equation d2y by dx square plus 5 times dy by dx plus 6y equals to 0. Here we have second order linear differential equation of first degree with y as dependent, x as independent variable. Right hand side of that equation is 0. Therefore, first step is we convert it in symbolic form. Replacing that operator d by dx by capital D, we get that equation as d square plus 5d plus 6 into y, operator on y, equal to 0. Therefore, f of d operator on y equal to 0. That is the general form of any linear differential equation. Then we have to write down the auxiliary equation. Auxiliary equation is f of d equating that to 0. Here f of d is d square plus 5d plus 6 equals to 0. Therefore, solving it for d, either by finding the factors or by applying the formula. Here we can obtain the factors of 6, whose product must be 6 and sum must be 5. Therefore, it is d plus 2, d plus 3. 3 to the 6, we get that last term as product, and sum of these two as 5. Therefore, d plus 2 and d plus 3, these are the factors. Then equating each to 0, it implies we get d is equals to minus 2 and d is equals to minus 3. Here we get 2 real and different roots. Roots are real and different as per the case 1 or type 1, and therefore CF is given by, suppose first one is m1, second one is m2, and therefore the complementary function is equal to c1 e raised to m1x plus c2 e raised to m2x, and therefore it is equals to c1 e raised to minus 2 times x plus c2 e raised to minus 3x is the CF. And as there is no any term of on right hand side, pi is 0. Particular integral is 0. Then complete solution CS is equal to CF plus pi. And that complete solution is for the dependent variable. Here that dependent variable is y is equal to CF C1 e raised to minus 2x, C2 e raised to minus 3x. Example second, find complementary function CF of equation d cube minus 2d square minus 5d plus 6 into y equal to 0. Here capital D stands for operator d by dx. Directly equation is given in symbolic form. Therefore, with y as a dependent variable and x is independent. The first step is auxiliary equation. Auxiliary equation is equating this function of d to 0. We get d cube minus 2d square minus 5d plus 6 equal to 0. Cubic equation. As it is cubic equation means we have 3 roots, and to obtain that 3 roots of d we have to apply a synthetic division technique. Therefore, for that we write down the coefficient in decreasing order. The coefficient of d is 1, d cube is 1, coefficient of d square is minus 2, then minus 5, and then 6. This is the trial and error technique. Remember 2 shortcut methods. If sum of the coefficient is 0, then 1 is the root. Here 6 plus 1 7, 7 minus 7 we get 0, and therefore directly we can go for 1 as a root. Therefore we take this 1 as it is. Product of these two we write here, that product is 1. Sum of these two minus 1. Product with this 1 minus 1. Sum is minus 6. Minus 6 into 1 we get minus 6, and we get last sum as 0. And therefore 1 is the root. Then if we remove one factor from this cubic equation, the remaining term it implies we get d square minus d minus 6 equals to 0. A quadratic equation in terms of d. we require to obtain the remaining two roots. Therefore, factorize this. Product must be minus 6, sum must be, therefore it is 3 to the 6, d minus 3 and d plus 2. That product of minus 3 into 2 is minus 6, and minus 3 plus 2 we get minus 1. That property is true. And then equating each to 0, we get, it implies d is equals to 3 and d is equals to minus 2. And therefore, the roots are minus 2, 1 and 3. We have three different roots. Roots are real, and distinct or different. And as the roots are real and distinct, complementary function CF is given by, it is, suppose first one is m1, second m2, third m3, it is c1 e raised to m1x, c2 e raised to m2x, and c3 e raised to m3x. And therefore, for this particular example, complementary function is c1 e raised to, we can consider any value as m1 and remaining as m2 and m3. Therefore, I am considering in the same order. First one as m1, therefore minus 2x, c2 e raised to m2x, 1x means x, c3 e raised to 3x is the required complement. Find complementary function of equation d2y by dx square minus 3dy by dx plus 2y equal to 0. We have here second order linear differential equation in y, with y as dependent, x as independent. Degree of y is 1, degree of all the derivatives is also 1 and not multiplied together. That's why it is linear differential equation. And then first step is converting in symbolic form. It is d square minus 3d plus 2 into y equals to 0, where capital D stands for the operator d by dx. We have a quadratic equation. And then to find complementary function, we have to equate f of d to 0, that is d square minus 3d plus 2 equal to 0. Then finding the factors of this to find the roots. The factors of 2 are 1 and 2. Product must be 2 and sum must be minus 3, and therefore it must be d minus 2 and d minus 1 equals to 0. Product of minus 2 into minus 1 is plus 2 and sum of these 2 is minus 3. And then equating each to 0, it implies we get d is equals to 2 and d is equals to 1. Here roots are real and different. Roots are real and different. And therefore, as roots are real and different, complementary function is given by, suppose first one is m1, second one is m2, it is c1 e raised to m1x, c2 e raised to m2x. Therefore, c1 e raised to, first root is 2, therefore it is 2x, and c2 e raised to 1x means x. Therefore, this is the required complementary function or the first part of the solution of that given differential equation. Therefore, with these three examples, I explained how we can obtain complementary function when the roots are real and different or distinct. Case 2, when roots are real and repeated. Say m1, second root is also m1, or if there are three roots, first m1, second also m1, third m1, etc. Then complementary function is given by, if we have this case, two repeated roots, it is c1 plus c2x into e raised to m1x. If it repeats one more times, then it is c1 plus c2x plus c3x square into e raised to m1x. Means for every repetition, we have to increase the power of x by 1. And so on. Then, first example, solve d2y by dx square minus 2 dy by dx plus y equal to 0. Converting in symbolic form, we get d square minus 2d plus 1 equal to 0 into y equal to 0. Equation in symbolic form. Then to solve this equation, we have to obtain complementary function as well as a particular integral. Here auxiliary equation is d square minus 2d plus 1 equals to 0. It is a perfect square of d minus 1 bracket square a minus b whole square. If you apply that formula, we get a square means d square minus twice ab minus 2d and plus b square 1. Equating each to 0, we get d is equals to 1 and second root is also 1. Therefore, roots are real and repeated. Therefore, this is case 2 for CF. And then, as these roots are repeated twice, complementary function is given by c1 plus c2x e raised to m1x. m1 is here 1, therefore e raised to x. We call this equation 1. Then particular integral, as right hand side of that equation is 0, particular integral does not exist. We write pi is equals to 0. And then complete solution or general solution is CF plus pi. Complete solution is for dependent variable. Here the dependent variable is y. CF is C1 plus C2x e raised to x. Pi 0 is the required solution. Next example, find complementary function of equation is d cube minus 3d square plus 3d minus 1 into y is equals to 0. Here y as a dependent variable. If capital D stands for operator d by dx, x is the independent variable. And therefore, here we require to find CF. To find CF, we have to write down auxiliary equation. Auxiliary equation is d cube minus 3d square plus 3d minus 1 equals to 0. Equating that polynomial to 0. And then obtaining the three roots by solving it. And to solve it, we have to apply synthetic division. If the order of the differential equation is 3 or more than 3, we supposed to apply synthetic division. Therefore, coefficients are 1, minus 3, 3 and minus 1. And then by applying the trial and error technique, we check for plus 1 first. If sum of the coefficient is 0, here 1 minus 1 0, 3 minus 3 0, we get that sum as 0, and therefore 1 is the root. Directly we can go for 1 as the root. This is the first shortcut method. Another shortcut method, if sum of the even coefficient is equals to sum of the odd coefficients, then minus 1 is the root. Here 1 plus 3 4 and minus 3 minus 1 minus 4 not equal, therefore minus 1 is not the root. Checking for 1, 1 as it is, product of these two 1, sum of these two minus 2 into 1 we get minus 2, sum is 3 minus 2 is 1, 1 into 1 we get 1, and as last sum is 0, that 1 is the root. If we remove one factor from this cubic equation, the remaining is d square minus 2d plus 1 equals to 0. This is again a perfect square of d minus 1 bracket square equals to 0. Equating each to 0, it gives you d is equals to 1 and 1, and therefore the roots are d is equals to 1, 1, 1. All the three roots are real and repeated. Roots are real and repeated. M1, M1, M1. And as roots are real and repeated, a complementary function is given by, it is repeated thrice, therefore it is C1, way to write it, plus C2x for the first repetition. For next repetition it is C3 x square into e raised to m1x, and therefore it is equals to C1 plus C2x C3 x square into e raised to m1x. The value of m1 is here 1, and therefore e raised to x is the required CF of the complementary function, or the first part of that solution. Okay. Therefore, with these two examples, I try to explain how we can write complementary function when roots are real and repeated. Case third, when roots are imaginary, say in the form of alpha plus minus I beta, where alpha is the real part of that complex number and beta is the imaginary part, then the complementary function is given by e raised to alpha x into, in bracket, c1 cos of beta x plus c2 sin of beta x. By this we can obtain, or we can write that complementary function. Find complementary function of equation d2y by dx square plus 4y equals to 0. To find that complementary function, CF, we convert it into symbolic form in first step. Therefore, in symbolic form it becomes d square plus 4 into y is equals to 0, where capital D stands for the operator d by dx. Here y becomes dependent, x becomes independent variable. Order of this differential equation is 2 and it is linear, as degree of y is 1, degree of d2y by dx square is also 1 and not multiplied together, means it satisfies that definition. And then auxiliary equation is, it is d square plus 4 equating it to 0. We get d square is equals to, transferring that to right hand side, we get minus 4. D is equals to, taking square root on both sides, we get plus minus 2 and root of minus 1 is I. And therefore, D is equals to, we have 0 plus minus 2I. Roots are, therefore comparing with this general form, roots are imaginary. And therefore, here alpha is real part, that is 0. Beta is the imaginary part. Beta is here 2. And then that complementary function is given by e raised to alpha x c1 cos beta x plus c2 sin of beta x. And therefore, for this particular example, alpha 0 e raised to 0, that is 1, c1 cos of beta x, beta is here 2, therefore cos of 2x, c2 sin of beta x, sin of 2x is the required complementary function, as we are getting imaginary roots in the form of alpha plus minus I. Next example, solve d cube plus d into y is equals to 0. As we required to obtain the solution, we have to obtain both the parts, complementary function as well as particular integral. And therefore, given equation is cubic equation with y as dependent variable and capital D stand for operator d by dx, means x as independent variable. Therefore, auxiliary equation is d cube plus d equals to 0. Taking d common from this 2, we get d square plus 1 equals to 0. Equating each to 0, we get d is equals to 0, first root, and second factor d square plus 1 equals to 0. It implies d square is equals to minus 1. Taking square root on both sides, we get plus minus I. Means it is a combination of two types of root. First one is a real root, real and different, and remaining two are imaginary. Therefore, while writing here, we write in the form of alpha plus I beta, alpha 0 plus minus I times beta, beta is 1. Therefore, we get alpha is equals to 0, beta is equals to 1. We take a combination of that two types. Therefore, complementary function for the first root, it is c1 e raised to 0x. First case, when roots are real and different. And for this imaginary, we apply this e raised to alpha x, alpha is 0 here, e raised to 0x. C1, we have to use our next constant, as C1 is already used. Therefore, next constant is C2 cos of beta x. Cos of beta is 1, therefore cos x, plus C3 sin of beta x, sin of x. We call this equation 1. CF, complementary function part. And as right hand side is 0, pi does not exist. We write pi is equals to 0. And then complete solution is CF plus pi. Complete solution for dependent variable. Therefore, y is equals to CF is here C1 plus e raised to 0 is 1, C2 cos x plus C3 sin x and plus pi is 0. Therefore, this is the required solution. Of that given differential equation. Therefore, with the help of these two examples, I try to explain how we can write the complementary function when roots are imaginary. Fourth, when roots are imaginary and repeated. Say like alpha plus I beta first pair and second pair alpha plus minus I beta, means roots are imaginary and repeated. Then complementary function is given by e raised to alpha x c1 plus c2x into cos of beta x plus c3 plus c4x into sin of beta x, as it is a repeated one. And example, find complementary function of d raised to 4 plus 2d square plus 1 into y equals to 0. Order of this differential equation is a fourth order, and therefore to find complementary function, the first step is we require to write auxiliary equation. Auxiliary equation is f of d equals to 0. Here that polynomial in terms of d is d raised to 4 plus 2d square plus 1 equals to 0. There are 4 roots, as it is fourth order polynomial, and therefore rewriting it, it is nothing but perfect square of d square plus 1. If you apply the a plus b whole square formula, a square d raised to 4 plus twice ab 2d square plus b square 1 square 1, and then equating each to 0, it implies we get d square plus 1 equals to 0 and d square plus 1 equals to 0. Solving it, we get d square is equals to minus 1 and d square is equals to minus 1. Taking square root on both sides, we get d is equals to root of minus 1 is imaginary I, d is equals to plus minus I. Therefore, we get imaginary roots but a repeated one. Roots are imaginary and repeated. And then comparing with that form alpha plus minus I beta, we get here alpha equals to real part as 0 and imaginary part beta coefficient of I 1. And then that complementary function is e raised to alpha x, e raised to 0x. As it is repeated imaginary, c1 plus c2x into cos of beta x, beta is 1, therefore cos x, c3 plus c4x into sine of beta x, sine of x. Okay, this is the required CF. Therefore, in this video, I explained 4 different cases of complementary function. First one, when roots are real and different or distinct, how to write down CF. Second case, when roots are real and repeated, how we can write the CF. Third case, when roots are imaginary, how we can write that complementary functions CF. And the last case, if roots are imaginary and repeatable, then how to write that complementary function. In my next video, I will discuss the second part of the solution, how we can obtain the particular integral by inverse operator technique, and in that I will discuss different cases, different shortcut methods to find particular integral. The first type to find the particular integral. Therefore, if you are watching my videos, please like and share it, as well as subscribe to my channel to get new updates or new videos. Thank you very much.